Hello guys, as you can tell, I'm not doing so good in terms of my face. So today I wanted to show you how to do a Notion skincare skin diary tracking setup. And this is actually not only applicable to skincare, but this is just an example of how you can set up your own little database where you want to track different products or different items that is related to one diary. I'm just going to use skincare as an example because I really need it and I really want to use it. Let's just get started and stop looking up. So as with my other setup, I will set it up step by step. You can make this yourself, but if it's easier for you, you can also purchase this from my shop. I will start this from scratch. So I'm gonna make a new page and I'm gonna call it Skincare Diary. This will be where our page is going to live. And then I'm also gonna make it full width so that I can see everything really easily. I am going to actually make the database for the diary, but I'm gonna use a gallery view and this is gonna make sense later. And this will be a gallery page. We can also make this add a calendar view so that we can make sense of the date. So we have the date property, and for our today page, we're just gonna filter it, show that the date is today. So what this does is whenever you go to this page and you wanna add a new entry for the day, you can just create a page and then the date will automatically be today. And then when you want to look at all the pages, you can just go to a gallery view. And that makes it slightly easier. So this is our skincare diary. Let's add some properties. And what we want to do is probably we want to track how our condition is. So let's change this into condition and add a smiling emoji because we want to smile no matter what our condition is, like my horrible condition today. And we're just gonna add some options, and let's do a healthy one first. You can add as many as you want, and I also have this as a multi-select, so then you can choose as many as you want in case they overlap. I also like to change them into the colors that I associate them with, and I also like to sort them alphabetically so that when I look for them, it's easier. And that will be the condition. In our page, I want to name it the date. So this is a cool hack for you guys. In the date property, you can actually just copy the date and then you can paste it. Or another hack is to just do at today. And then underneath that, I am going to add another database. And this is also going to be a gallery view database. And I'm going to call it our skincare shelf, because this is where we're going to put all of our skincare items. I'm going to add a couple of products off camera. So now I created properties for the skincare products. I'm gonna fill them in. So firstly, we have the name. So whatever skincare you have, you can look up the full name of it. It's better to have the full name of it. Copy the name and just paste it in. And if you're crazy, you can also create another database for the brand itself, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it as a select property. So you can add your brands right here and you can't select multiple. So that makes sense. And then there's also a rating. So you can rate it out of 10. Let's rate this 8. And you can see that there's a bar right over here. And you can also show or hide the number if you edit this property. And this is a toner. So I'm just gonna select toner. And you can add or subtract as many of these options as you want to. And this is just to categorize them later. And expiration date, if I opened it today, it will probably expire in a year or so. So I'll just add 2026. And then image is really important. So I want to put an image right over here, but I don't like downloading photos from the internet because it will use a lot of space. So what I like to do is generally just copy an image address from the internet and then I will link it. And sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it does work, and then it will show up like this. And the reason why I want to do this is because in our gallery view, we can actually set our cart preview as the property image, and you can see that there is an image right there, and that makes it way easier to look at what you got. And I'm just gonna add more products. So now we have 3 products of different types, and then we can go to make our life easier by grouping them by their product type. So I usually like to sort them by the sequence of which I put them on my face. So I will put my toner first so you can see how it shows on the screen. And how I'm gonna make this work integrate with our skincare diary is that I actually have a relation property over here called diary, but it's actually related to the skincare diary. You can name it however you want to make your life easier. Okay, so I added a formula. I actually thought of this idea while I was half asleep, and then I was trying to make it work, but I
bamboozled myself because I couldn't make it work, but
At last, I made it work. Okay, this is what is happening. In our skincare page, we have our daily page, right? And I added this related view, linked view of the skincare shelf. So whenever you created a page, you can just come here. And the reason why we have to have this here is because Formula uses this element called this page. So whenever you create a page, you can link it and it will be dynamic. So it can detect what page it is on and it will create a relation to that page. And that all sounds like mumbo jumbo, I know. But this is what is happening. If you want to build this yourself, take notes. So the button property is going to be on the skincare shelf. So each skincare product is going to have a button, but we're going to rename it. We're not going to name it button. We're going to name it use, and we're going to do like a hand emoji. But you can name it whatever you want. So it's going to be called use, and it's a clickable button, and we're not going to show it right here. But it is going to be showing in our page right here. How we're going to do this is whenever you open a new page, you start a new day and you want to track your skincare. And let's say I use this rice milk toner. I just click use and it's going to be tracked on here. And I'm gonna use this mask also, and I'm gonna use this cream also, and it's gonna be tracked on there. The greatest thing about this is that once you fill up your shelf with a lot of product, you can just go through them sorted by groups, and then you can choose whichever products you use. And then just to make this even more awesome for ourselves, we're gonna not have a preview on this page, but we are going to add another property here called a Rollup property. And this is going to be our product image. And this is actually not gonna show up right here. So we're just gonna put this at the bottom and then always hide. But what it is gonna show is products and their product image. This shows the image of the product. Granted, it is very small, but nevertheless, it is very fun. So let's hide it. And then in this view, we're gonna show the product image. So this shows, and it's very cute. So let's fill up this page with more products. Another really good part of grouping your products by your categories is that you can just add their respective categories and you don't have to click anything else. So this is how it's gonna look in the calendar view. As you can see, you have all the products you use in a nice little shelf. You can look at all of the nice little thumbnails. And the Today tab is only going to be showing your today, the current date. And the gallery view is just a view, the same view as the calendar without the calendar part. Every single page that you create, it's going to be showing the skincare shelf because I made that a template. So if you're going to be recreating this, remember to do that, or else you're going to be having to create that every single page. And that's going to be really annoying. But you do have to copy the date and just paste the date on the title. And there's going to be an emoji on the top, and you can also customize that. If you don't know how to do that, you customize your templates right here. And you might say,
well, it's so small. How am I going to look at what I use?
I also added a tab right here. You can add it with customized layout. So you can just click in this and it will show all the products that you actually use. So content is going to be for adding them in your page, and products is going to be showing what you actually already added in there. Make sense? Okay, makes sense. So that is basically that. And in the past, let me show you my personal skincare thing that I did not create for this. I actually called it Care Log, and I added all of these effects of my different skincare products. Let's go into this hyaluronic B5 serum. The effects is actually a roll-up. And where did you get this roll-up, you might ask? It's from the ingredients. So I inputted all the key ingredients of the product, and obviously hyaluronic B5 serum. It's gotta be hyaluronic acid and vitamin B5. So for hyaluronic acid, I added the effects of anti-aging, moisturizing, and repairing the skin barrier. And for vitamin B5, it's going to be moisturizing, skin repair, and soothing. The roll-up shows the unique values from these two ingredients. The reason why I wanted to create this in a very roundabout way, you being a smart girly, you might have realized that I could have just added these products from this list right here. I can always just link another page and read through it and add it right here. There's no problem. If you don't want to do this whole elaborate setup with the images, there's no problem with that. I have been doing this in my personal setup and I always forget what my skincare is called. I always recognize them by the labels, by their design. That's why I created this gallery view and this button setup button formula so that I could just look at the thing. I reckon it monkey see, monkey recognize, monkey press button, monkey use skincare. It is very useful because I'm a very visual person. And if you want to apply this to books, movies, other products that you used, or like workouts, it might be easier for you to use a database like this also because you can categorize them by category. So you can see I categorize them by toner, mask, moisturizer, and cleanser, and that makes it really easy for me to find what I'm looking for instead of looking through a list like this. Especially if that database gets very long, it'll be really hard to dig through all of these pages. So I just thought it would be easier to have a database like this. I'm really happy that my idea that I came up with in my dream actually was realized and I did not make that formula up. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you are going to use this. Let me know what you are going to use this for. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. If you want to replicate this, you can watch this video, maybe just play it slowly. I think I explained everything, but if I missed anything, just comment and I will explain it. But if you just want this template ready to go, you can always get it in the link below and I will make it available for you and you can track your stuff. Feel free to change anything up and change any relations, add anything. But don't forget to credit me if you are going to share this with other people, and never sell my template. Don't sell it because I sold it and it is created from scratch by me. So feel free to change it for your personal use, but don't sell it. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope everyone has amazing skin and track your stuff, never use expired stuff. And I hope my skin recovers as well because this is actually affecting me quite a bit. Hence this video, I just wanted to let it all out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. What's on my phone? Maybe? Okay, bye.